The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. These words, spoken by the United States 32nd President during his first inauguration in the depth of the Great Depression, have held true throughout his presidency and continue to do so today. These words also seem to describe his personality. Despite his disability, he seemingly effortlessly led America through two great disasters. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was a great leader. He displayed leadership as a child, he displayed leadership while battling polio, and he displayed tremendous leadership as president. Our 32nd president was born to James Roosevelt and Sarah Delano in New York on January 30th, 1882. He grew up in a wealthy household and was mainly raised by his mother, who would take him on frequent trips to Europe and across the United States. A high school teacher of mine once told us that Franklin's mother once claimed, "My son is a Delano, not a Roosevelt at all," probably because his father wasn't around very much. At home, he would basically run the household. A maid working at a house at the time once said, "If it weren't for him, nothing would get done." He received extensive schooling. After boarding school, he went on to study at Harvard, where he was a C student. And then after graduating from Columbia Law School, he went on to Wall Street to begin his career as a corporate lawyer. He continued to display great optimism, even after he was diagnosed with a disease which took away his legs. In 1921, while vacationing with his family, Roosevelt succumbed to a disease which was then diagnosed as polio, but modern research indicates that it may have been closer to Guillain-Barré syndrome. But modern research can't accurately decide which it was, since his spinal fluid was never examined and his medical records were mysteriously vanished and likely destroyed after his death. Likely destroyed by his personal physician, Dr. Ross McIntyre. He decided to hide his illness from the public for fear that it would compromise his public image. In fact, only 2 known photographs are in existence which show him in his wheelchair. This proved to be an effective strategy. He became governor of New York in 1928, and then eventually became president in the 1932 election, defeating incumbent Herbert Hoover. Things looked bleak during his years in office, but he maintained his positivity and effective leadership. His first challenge was dealing with the Great Depression, which left a quarter of the country unemployed. He helped the United States out of this hole by instating Social Security and giving more power to the federal government. During his second term, Europe began to see the rise of Adolf Hitler and Nazism. But Roosevelt maintained his stance to keep the United States out of war and kept assuring its troops that it would not go to action. This changed in December 7th, 1941, when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. This event forced the United States into war. Roosevelt kept in close contact with Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin, which were then known as the Big Three. His health was quickly declining in the end of 1944, however. His medical advisors urged him not to run for a 4th term. However, he did, and he was quickly reelected. However, he died in April of 1945 before he could see the end of Hitler. He did much for the U.S. and is consistently ranked among the top 5 presidents. One can argue that he was indeed the best president. Makes you wonder what the present would be like if he was never elected. We can take what he's shown us and hopefully be motivated to achieve as much. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was a great leader. He displayed leadership as a child, he displayed leadership while battling polio, and he displayed tremendous leadership as president.